want to focus on the rookies. Give me some James Outman thoughts. That's all I got.
So when it comes to James Outman, we love the guy. He came on this show, and I want him to succeed. I want him to snap out of this. I want him to establish himself as an everyday big leaguer. I would love for him to be the long-term solution at center field. But over the past few days, it's really started creeping in my head. I'm having my doubts. I'm starting to question, is he going to be that guy? Do the Dodgers need to trade for an outfielder to really solidify this offense? And look, the reality is, look, I try to, of course, I'm a Dodgers fan, but my number one priority is to just bring the truth. And if I'm sipping on some true serum right now, it's telling me that James Outman just isn't getting it done. If you look at his numbers since the beginning of May, he's hitting 161 with a 257 on base percentage, a 276 slugging percentage, a 51 WRC plus. So his bat has been 49% below league average. And Clint, we knew that he was going to strike out. We knew that that comes with the territory because, look, the rub on James Outman is if he puts his bat on the ball, good things are going to happen. But the only issue is he has a 37.6% strikeout rate, but the slug is just not there. He's only had 2 home runs since the beginning of May. He looks lost at the plate. Look, he looks more lost than me looking for my car at the Dodger Stadium parking lot after the game. And it's just not happening right now for James Outman. I do think that you continue to run him out there and you're going to hurt his confidence. I mean, yesterday he goes down swinging on 3 straight pitches. He didn't take the bat off his shoulder. I'm yelling at the TV, swing the bat, swing the bat. And when I'm doing that, that's when, I'm really frustrated. But what are your thoughts on Outman? What are you seeing, Clint?
I mean, I also think setting him down hurts the confidence as well. He's just in a bad spot. I think mentally he's okay. It's just the league's beating him. And Dave Roberts talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's picking the wrong pitches to swing at. And when they are hittable pitches, he's not pulling the trigger. And you're seeing that a little more often than not. I do want to point out, you mentioned 2 home runs. Since the big 4-hit, 2 home run game in Chicago, where the media started going all in, national media started going all in on James Outman fever, 177, 556 OPS, 2 dingers, 11 ribs. I wonder was it a pressure thing? Again, I just said he's in a good mental spot, but maybe he's also at the same time, like it's not getting to him, but maybe he's not putting himself in the best position to succeed because he's thinking, oh man, all these guys were high about me, and now I'm down here, and now I'm trying to get back to it, and it's like gambling, I was up $20 now. Oh, let me just try to get back to what I came to Vegas with, and then you're down another $200. You're just trying too hard. When that's not what this team preaches. What do they say? Stay within yourself. Try not to do too much. I'm just trying to move the ball forward, that kind of crap. And now they're seizing his car. They're even seizing Rocca. They're like, hey, Rocca's got to go, man. We're taking that too. They're taking his Sarah High School football jersey. Like every time. No, I agree with you. I think there is that component as well when you look at James Outman. And when you look at him at the plate, I think what he needs to do is surrender to the idea of, hey, I'm just going to be a guy that 245 with slug and plus defense. Because, look, I mean, we got to talk about the good with the bad. Defensively, he has had some miscues Saturday. I think he overcommitted to a ball. I mean, it was a tough play there. But still, I think defensively, he still, for the most part, has played well. He's been okay.
I mean, he has been. Look, he's been fine. When he misses the
plays, when he misses the plays, it's kind of like, wow, how did he miss that? But for the greater part, yeah, he's been solid enough in center field. I think the problem with that is we're coming off of Cody Bellinger, who just everything about Cody Bellinger as a defensive center fielder was insane, and he wasn't even like lights out elite defensive center fielder, especially over his last couple of seasons. But still, Cody, that first step, maybe he lost a step through the injuries, but that first step, the intuition, the ability to know when to dive, when to jump, when to time a jump to rob, that takes time. And Cody's been doing it all his life. There was a point where Jimmy Outman thought he was going to be a football guy.
Yeah.
He decided to be a baseball guy. You're still getting used to the nuances of the position at the big league level. You got the third level there.
And what do they say always? Offense gets you to the show. Defense keeps you in the show. But
look at Miguel Rojas.
We'll talk about him for a second. But I mean, if you're down, 85th percentile on arm strength, 91st percentile on outs above average. But what did he tell us when he was hanging out inside that monitor right there during the offseason, during our interview? When he's at the plate, he said, look, I know I can crush fastballs. I know I can do just that. Can I handle big league spin? So far this season, hitting 190 against breaking balls. So until he makes those adjustments, because look, the jury's out. There's some scout somewhere in the basement that is reviewing all of his footage, and they're giving it to their analytics department.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saying attack here, here, and here. High velocity fastballs, spin on the inner half. And there's just times where, look, you talk about non-competitive pitches. From a pitching standpoint, there's non-competitive at-bats, and I think he's just so mixed up upstairs right now that he's not really in a great place. But like I said, James Outman, he has proven the doubters wrong for most of his career. He wasn't supposed to be here this early in the season. He has made a name for himself early on, but I still think that, yeah, I mean, they need to figure something out offensively from the outfield perspective. And I think one of the I don't know if it's an unintended consequence or just a byproduct, but with Trayce Thompson going on the IL, we are probably going to get a situation where you are going to get those two right-handed bats in the outfield, and that's what we were looking at to start the year. So I'm very interested to see how that looks. But we know he's a fan favorite, but so far this month and the last month, he just really has had a rough go of it.
Maybe at second base, because now it's time we talk about Miguel Vargas. On the season, hitting 227. He's got a 745 OPS. Yeah, he had a single hit in each of the 3 Yankee games, but just continues to I don't know, not impress me. Since the start of May, he's hitting 238. His on base at 310, not the greatest. Yeah, the slug went up a bit over that stretch, especially if you get rid of that first game. You look at that 4-hit game, it looks like he was starting to figure some things out maybe, but maybe that 4-hit game is more of an outlier. Just sell me on this experience, because over his last 10 games, 11 games, he's batting under 200. It's just it's inconsistent, but they keep, he's the guy who's hitting fifth, sixth, seventh in the lineup daily, and I don't know if he's earned that. He's not getting on base at an elite clip or even a reasonable clip or even a league average clip. The defense, mid to okay. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's what they have.
It's a tough look. I'm not going to sell you on the fact that he's a superstar this season, but I will say when you're a 23-year-old rookie and you haven't fallen off a cliff, if you look at his numbers since the beginning of May, a 112 weighted runs created plus, so you're talking about a bat that's 12% above league average. I think Gavin Lux would have loved to have that number in his rookie season. I think that there's a lot of rookies that would have been fine with that type of production. His last 10 games, 6 for 31, hitting under 200, as you mentioned. And to your point, there have been flashes. The 4-hit game, you've seen some of that bat to ball, and you've seen his ability, but he's not doing it on a game-to-game basis. He's not doing it consistently enough to say, oh, this is a guy that is going to vie for the Rookie of the Year. This is the guy that we've heard about for so many years that was going to tear things up. Mm-hmm. But I also believe that this is a guy that is a rookie. Is a rookie that is also defensively playing a position that he hasn't played in his career at the big league level. And I think for him, it's just about, if he doesn't fall off a cliff, that's what you want to avoid. What you want to avoid is the James Outman types, the Trayce Outman types, where they're falling off a cliff where you're hurting the team when you continue to run them out there and they're not providing very much. As long as a hit there, a double here, a home run there, and you're just treading water and you're just weathering the storm, it's going to click at some point with this guy. I truly believe that. And I wouldn't say that he's someone that is on bust alert or anything like that, because like I said, he is still, the way it profiles, as an above average bat. But has he underwhelmed? I would say probably. Has he been a bust? I would say far from it. I think defensively, he surprised some folks. I think yesterday, you would probably like to see him barehanded, maybe make a play at the plate, considering that runs were at a premium. But I'm still high on Miggy Vargas. Like, I believe in Miguel Vargas, like Mr. Miyagi believes in Danny LaRusso. But what happened in Karate Kid, right? He got jumped a few times. He went through some adversity until he swept the leg. So I think it's going to take some time. I still believe Miguel Vargas.
He pulled that. Guys, subscribe for at least Doug McCain.
If you want to sell your Miguel Vargas, I will buy it for pennies on the dollar, and I'll add it to my collection, because I've hoarded all the Miguel Vargas stock. Okay,
I don't want to be all doom and gloom or just focus on the bad, but these are a couple of guys that, the rookies that you had mentioned earlier today. It seems like the Dodgers have struggled, in particular, to draft and develop or bring up and develop their own infielders. We haven't seen an exceptional or even league average infielder since Corey Seager, who's now raking in Texas, which is unfortunate. But I don't know what the deal. They could print pitchers like nobody's business. But when it comes to infield and honestly, even kind of outfield, it's been a bit of a struggle on that side of the player development coin. But anywho, I upset Victor with I didn't upset him. He says Corey who?
Corey who? Yeah.
Miss Siegs.
No, I mean the problem too with Miguel Vargas
not paying him.
in his look, I mean, we'll see what happens with Corey Seager, but I mean that kid's a flat out generational hitter in my opinion as far as how hard he can hit the ball consistently. But that to me is when I look at Miguel Vargas, something that surprised me a little. I thought that maybe the BABIP gods weren't going to be nice to him and he would be almost like a Will Smith that we saw early in his career where he hit the ball hard. It was just a rocket shot into the glove of the opposing team. That hasn't been the case for Miguel Vargas.
It's a long swing, man.
It is a longish swing. I agree with you on that. You're not seeing him just get the barrel out there. I think for him, he's another guy you want to see him kind of work on. It's kind of got that horizontal motion and just really find a way to find pitches that he can drive. I think there's certain at-bats where it's almost his high on base percentage, his eye at the plate almost works against him because you see him not attacking certain pitches. But yeah, he's just not hitting the ball hard consistently. But still, like I said, I mean, the home runs, 4 home runs since the beginning of May. He hasn't been awful. He hasn't been dreadful.
No.
And I think, look, in some organizations, I think there'd be more pressure on him. I think he's in a good spot in this organization, surrounded by JD Martinez and Freddie Freeman, to kind of soak this up. And you kind of look back and you say, hey, a rookie season where you can justify him on the field, and there's not many better options out there. I mean, who's going to throw out there? Going to bring Yanni Hernandez or someone like that? I mean, if you trade for Tim Anderson, throw him at second, I can have that conversation and have Vargas come off the bench. But I'm just saying, as of right now, look, experience is currency, right? That is an investment, and you have to take him out there and see if he can do. I actually think he's going to have a big week. I think he's going to have a big road trip. I think he's playing against Cincinnati, Philly.
Is that the Doug cure?
It's not really the Doug cure. I'm not cure. I think he's going to have a big week. I think.
Put all of your money, put your rent money on Miguel Vargas having a big week, and if not,
big week for Miggy Vargas
will personally pay your rent.